The Early College Program presents applying for summer and fall 2021 courses. Before we begin, all links will be found in the description below. The first thing we need is an ELAC student ID number. If you have one, go ahead and skip to the second part. If this is your first time taking an early college program course or an ELAC course, we recommend you visit our Ask Me Anything Zoom sessions Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., excluding holidays. In the AMAs, anyone from the ELAC outreach team will be willing to assist you in completing the ELAC application. Please note that your OpenCCC confirmation number will be used for a later purpose. Once you have created your student account, you will be able to move on to the next portion of the process. The second part of the process is the ELAC Outreach Early College Program Student Commitment Form. Please make sure to read the fine print, and if you need any assistance with this portion, you can click the link and visit our AMA sessions. Our first question is entering your email address. Please be sure to use a personal email and not your high school email address. Then select the Next button. This next section is for your personal information. The first question is, what is your current grade level in high school? Enter the full name of your high school or middle school, your last name, your first name, your date of birth, and your personal cell phone number where you can be reached. Then hit Next. In the ELAC application status, you will need to provide your OpenCCC confirmation number, as well as your LACCD or ELAC student ID number. If you have not received your ELAC student ID number, you can always put your confirmation number. When you've completed, hit the Next button. Be sure to read the fine print of Step 3 to understand the process of dynamic forms. Before we complete the third section, let's scroll down until we find the link for ELAC Dynamic Forms, also located in the description. If you do not have a Dynamic Forms account, please click the link. If this is your first time using Dynamic Forms, please select Create New Account. When creating a new account, please put in all required information. We begin with the username. It must be 8 characters long and must contain at least one letter. The next step is to create a password. It must contain at least 8 characters. It cannot contain your username, and it must contain 3 out of the 4 characters, such as uppercase letters, lowercase letters, numbers, and special characters such as the @ symbol, the and symbol, and the money symbol. This next portion is for personal information. You must include your first and last name, a valid email, and select a secret question. Choose a question that best fits you. Once you have done all necessary steps, please select Create Account. Filling out dynamic forms. Prior to filling out the dynamic forms, please be sure to read the fine print section. Now that you have read the fine print section, it is time to move on to complete the dynamic form. Students must complete the K-12 student information section. This is your first and last name, middle initial if you have one, your date of birth, your address, the city, state, and zip code in which you live in, your personal cell phone number, your ELAC student ID number. Once you have completed that portion, there is a drop-down menu for student grade. Select the grade you are in. Next, select the high school drop-down menu and select your high school. You will then need to put the first and last name and school email address of your high school counselor that signs off on dynamic forms. Following that, you will need to put the first and last name and the email address associated with your parents' or guardian dynamic forms account. You are now ready to sign the form. Select Click to Sign above Student Signature, and a pop-up screen will appear. Be sure to read the disclosure and consent section before signing electronically. Once you have read the disclosure and consent section, type in your name and select Sign electronically. Your signature and timestamp will appear automatically. Once you have signed, scroll down to the college enrollment information section. Select the term and year as well as your home campus. You must type in the course or courses you choose to take and the number of units per course. Your last step is to select Submit Form. Congratulations, you have now completed your dynamic form. Parents and guardians. We begin at google.com. In the search bar, type in Dynamic Forms. When your options appear, select Create a New Account. Parents and guardians must also make a Dynamic Form account. You must fill in all necessary sections to create the account. If you're unsure of what you need to do, please go to the student section of the video and follow along. Once the student has completed their section of the dynamic form, you will automatically receive an email. On the email, select Click here to complete your section of the form to proceed. You will scroll down to the Parent Guardian Authorization section. This is located underneath the College Enrollment Information area. Before signing, please ensure that you read the fine print. You will click above Parent Signature where it says Click to Sign, and a pop-up box will appear. Be sure to read the disclosure and consent section before signing electronically. Once you have read the section, type in your name and click the Sign Electronically button. Your signature and timestamp will appear automatically. Once you have signed, scroll all the way to the bottom and click Submit Form. You and your child have now completed your portion of the form. Their high school representative will receive an email to complete their portion of the form. Now that you and your parent or guardian have completed the dynamic form, it's time to finish the third step. You will select the semester you plan on attending, summer and or fall, the first course you plan to take. If your school official allows you to take a second course, please list the second course. Do not put two course options if you do not choose to take two courses. If you've completed the dynamic forms, select the first option, which reads, My parents/guardians and I have both created a dynamic forms account. If both you and your parents were having trouble, select My parents/guardians and I need help creating the dynamic forms account. For the next question, if you were able to log in and complete the dynamic forms, select I have successfully accessed the supplemental application via dynamic forms. If you need assistance, select I need help accessing the supplemental application via dynamic forms. The following question states, I understand that as soon as my parent signs the form through their account, it will automatically appear for my counselor to sign. As soon as all parties sign it, it will automatically be sent to the outreach office. I understand that I can check my dynamic form account to view the progress of the application and make edits. The last two questions ask, I understand if I do not submit my completed K-12 form via dynamic forms by the deadlines, I will not be added to the course. The final question states, I understand that if I do not complete the dynamic form on time, I will not be added to the course. Once you have answered all questions, hit the next button and you have now completed the commitment form and the application process for the early college program. This concludes our video. If you have any questions, please reach out to your home campus for more information.